What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is COD Espresso, and welcome back to another Infinite Warfare video here today on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that isn't directly affecting Infinite Warfare as in 2016, but rather something more so in the future. But before we get too far into it, if you guys are interested, I'm doing a giveaway with a couple of my good friends here on YouTube. Here we're giving away a copy of the Legacy Edition of Infinite Warfare here, so that's going to get you not only Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, but also Modern Warfare Remastered. So that link is down there in the description below if you guys would like to check that out. But with that said, let's talk about Infinite Warfare, or rather the future of Infinite Warfare, because as of recently we got some information that is kind of interesting to look at. Some people may not be too fond of it, and actually, honestly, a lot of people may not be too fond of it based off the initial reaction. Right now, I still personally think it's way too early on to judge anything that we've seen of Infinite Warfare. Honestly, if you guys remember back, Black Ops 2 was something that it got a lot of crap for how far in the future it would go, but according to a lot of players, that's their favorite Call of Duty, mine personally as well, and it's something that it's still way too early on to see here with this. So keep this in mind with a grain of salt, take it with a grain of salt rather, and do with it what you will. But in an interview with Polygon, Taylor Kurosaki, one of the lead developers and narrators for Infinite Warfare, was talking to them about the goals that Infinity Ward wanted to take and then achieve with Infinite Warfare and then further on into the future. So initially, Kurosaki said, "We want to establish our own new sub-franchise, our own new branch of the Call of Duty tree. What we are developing here could certainly support multiple games. We're trying to develop a very rich world that we're not even close to exhausting. We want to tell first and foremost a classic war story in the great tradition of the genre that Brian and I are both fans of. This is my first foray into Call of Duty and telling a war story. I'm so taken by the rich history of the genre." And whenever it was mentioned about going further into the future and how Black Ops 2 did it initially and then followed with every single game since then, other than Ghost, which was still technically in the future, Kurosaki noted that I'm sure that the Infinity Ward team felt the same kind of tremendous burden when they went from World War II to Modern Warfare. It's an entire world with new weapons, vehicles, AI, under the hood stuff. We're doing the exact same stuff here. This is as much of a sea change. So with that said, it looks like Infinite Warfare is not going to only leave off with a cliffhanger, but also plans to extend out into an Infinite Warfare 2 and an Infinite Warfare 3 come 2019 and 2022. So with that said, once again, take it how you will, but I think there are a few things that we need to note here with this. First and foremost, I know a lot of people are going to be saying in the comments, wow, they're not listening to us once again. This just confirms that Call of Duty is detaching itself from its fan base. Well, in all honesty, it may seem like that, but whenever you pitch an entire brand new IP to a publisher, they want to know your long-term goals here with it. That is pretty much with anything that you're trying to sell to anybody, not just a developer selling something to a publisher. That's something that they want to see the longevity of it. They want to see where your goals are and where you want to go with the project. So a 2 and a 3 definitely is something that makes sense to have in the back of their mind and what they want to do with the brand itself. Now, if it is going to be something that is all 100% in the future, that honestly is something that might be a very logical case here for this, because when you have a game focused so much so on the far future, it's kind of hard to bring that back in and still brand it as Infinite Warfare. So that's something that I know a lot of people may not be very intrigued in, but is it something that really we should now have a very dismal outlook for the future of Call of Duty? I personally don't think so. I've already speculated first and foremost a while back that I think Advanced Warfare 2 could also be set in the future but have boots on the ground. A little bit of that theory to wrap it up for you guys that may not have seen the video a couple months back. Basically, the very end of Advanced Warfare, they showcased the very detrimental side effects that having an integrated system and relying so much on these exosuits would have, that it almost cost everything here for the characters. So we saw that there were boots on the ground gameplay and that Atlas was on the fall and the world needed rebuilding, so perhaps Advanced Warfare may take place in the future but have boots on the ground. That's something that I think in its very most layman terms could happen in that summary, and also I firmly believe that the next Treyarch game will be going back in the past. So if we do end up seeing that type of way the Call of Duty franchise goes, well then it would make sense that we could see a past, present, and a future of the Call of Duty cycle all in 3 years. So if somebody doesn't like the setting, well, they can go back to play a different game, or they can look forward to having something in that same time frame couple years later. So it would then ultimately come back and encompass absolutely everything that people love about the settings. Whether you love the past, present, or future, there'd be a game for you. So with that said, this might lead up into that where they're establishing a long-term goal for the Call of Duty franchise where it could then encompass everything. I don't know, but it is something that is clear that the developers want to take a stand here and give another longer narrative than that of what Ghost did, where it pretty much just died off because everybody disliked it. So that said, I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Do you guys think it's a good thing to expand out into an Infinite Warfare 2 and 3? And if so, why do you think so? Or if not, why do you think so? I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, drop a like rating down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on that road to 50,000 subscribers, so every little bit does help and is, of course, greatly appreciated. My name is Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.